The facility manager is looking for more information, or the energy manager, or the sustainability officer. And so what we have to do is look at, well, where is the genesis of the data? And typically the facility manager or the energy manager are holding that data. And what we have to do is look at, well, what are we looking at for data? How do we get access, and how do we disseminate that information? And but when we're looking at those stakeholders, what we can't do is take our eye off of what are the goals we're trying to achieve. So our research has shown that these are the 8 top goals that customers are asking for us to help them solve. And so we often get mired down in this idea of the new shiny object. It's the new technology here. I can install this and it'll save me hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what happens is we take our eye off the goal of really actually what are we trying to achieve as a business. And so we really work with our customers to sit down and say, well, what are your end goals? What do you want to achieve? And then let's look at what technology needs to be layered in. If it's, sometimes we don't need data from the utility company. Sometimes that's all we have is access from the utility company. And so we have to look at then what data, what technologies we need to bring to the table to be able to meet those needs. When we start to sit down with the customer and really break down the problem, what we find is really there's 5 key characteristics that really come together. And the first is you have to connect. So you have to connect to data on site, you have to connect to utility data, weather data, or whatever it might be, and you have to gather that data. And so then from there we have to collect the data, and we have to get it into a centralized platform. And so it might be from one building or one facility, or it might be the entire portfolio, it might be from one system or multiple types of systems. And we have to get all that data and collect it from a historical perspective. Often our customers don't even do this. And so that's where a value of being able to start to lay out a plan of getting the data collected and into that repository sets the stage for them to do more analytics down the road. And even just starting to do the basic blocking and tackling has huge value to the customer. Second is analyzing the data, or third is analyzing the data. What we find is it's a people or a technology. And there's a lot of technology out there that analyzes data, but it doesn't tell you that there's a thermostat behind the Coke machine, right? And so you got to have a person involved with some of the analytics, the analysis, and be able to see what's actually happening. But at the end of the day, analyzing data doesn't save you a dime. It's the optimization. And this is what resonates with our customers most I'll tell you a story real quick. I was with a large city, and they talking to the energy manager. And the energy manager said, well, what are you talking about here, and why are you bringing these type of solutions to the table? I said, well, we're talking about commissioning, and commissioning has existing building, retro commissioning, as well as ongoing commissioning. And she said, well, that's okay, we don't need to talk about that, because we paid for $300,000 for a commissioning study, but we didn't save a dime on that. And I said, well, did you implement any of the actual findings out of the retro commission? He said, no, we didn't. We didn't budget for it. And I said, well, that's interesting, because that same concept that you're intrigued with this IT company coming along and wanting to analyze the data and give you a pretty dashboard is going to be the same concept. I said, so if you paid $300,000 for a pretty report, you're going to pay another $300,000 for a pretty dashboard. And so what you have to look at is what does it take to optimize, what does it take to drive real results. And so paying